Shalom Yasharallah, giving all praise and glory to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. I'm going to be starting in just give me 1 minute and we're going to get this on. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Giving all praise and glory to the most high power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. Hello, Yah, was glorious and holy name. We're going to get into these scriptures tonight and bring forth some edification, hopefully that will enhance those that are listening to be able to come to a higher level of understanding of the scriptures as we deal with the topic of elders and how we supposed to be operating with elders and how our culture is in dealing with our elders of old and how it applies to us today, which will help us to be closer to the understanding of how the Most High would have us to be without, sinning before Him and thinking that we're doing what we're supposed to do, and it's not necessarily the right way. So as always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3 and 17, and whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. Give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shama Mashiach Yahushai. So let's go to the law. Let's go to Leviticus 19th chapter, Leviticus 19 and 32. And I welcome everyone for joining me, for water, for, joining in and listening, and all those that have been listening and like, share, and, give a thumbs up or comment on the video. Leviticus 19, we're going to look at verse 32. It says, thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, meaning the elderly men and so forth, and honor the face of the old man, and fear thy power. That's the Most High Yahweh. I am the Most High Yahweh. I'm going to read it again. This is Leviticus 19:32. It says, thou shalt rise up before the hoary head, and honor the face of the old man, and fear thy power. Fear me, to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, Yahweh. I am the Most High, Yahweh. Right. So it's it's a respect. It's respect. You know, I grew up. You cannot disrespect an elder. I mean, anybody could check you for disrespecting the elder. Believe this. I mean, that's just something that we didn't have. You know, we had morals that, you know, like this saying, you're supposed to rise up before the elder, but you know, young people think you elder supposed to rise up for them. In this way, day and age, is contrary to the law. You see what I'm saying? And this is how when you see how it's operated when there is order, when brothers have order in their camps, you see that this is how it is. Now I want to deal with this eldership because I see that, you know, a lot of young brothers are considered elders, even if they are leaders of their school. And that's not according to the law in our culture. You know, let's see about that. When you go to Numbers, the fourth chapter, I'm gonna read verse 1, 2, 3. It says, "And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying," so this is the Most High speaking. He said, "Take the sum of the sons of Kohath from among the sons of Levi, after their families." Levites were the priests, the ones that administrate the law, "by the house of their fathers." He said, "from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, all that enter into the host to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. This shall be the service of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of the congregation about the most holy things, working inside the temple and so forth." That's the number, the age from 30 to 50. You go on to say in verse 23. Let's take 22. "Take also the sum of the sons of Gershon throughout the houses of their families, excuse me, of their fathers, because everybody come from your father's seed, by their families," it says, "from 30 years old and upward until 50 years old shall thou number them, all that enter in to perform the service, to do the work in the tabernacle of the congregation." You see, this is the age from 30 to 50. You're doing the service of the Most High. Um, so from 51 years old and older, that's when you become an elder. But 30 years old to 50 years old, you're doing the service of the Most High. You're in the, you know, dealing with teaching and so forth, because our curriculum was from 0 to 5 years old, generally was with our mothers. And from 5 to 12 years old was a curriculum of learning basic, you know, math, you know, English and history and so forth, you know, the basics of, you know, learning, you know, math, arithmetic, English. I mean, well, ours will be Hebrew, like we learn in our school system now, you know. And from 12 to 30 years old, you was in this ministry, you know. So by the time you get 30 years old, you'll be mature to be able to be in the ministry. From learning from 12 to 30 years old, you see. That's why he said um, in verse 29, Numbers 4:29, "And this, as for the sons of Merari, thou shalt number them after their families, by the house of their fathers. From 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, shalt thou number them. Everyone that entered into the service, to do the work of the tabernacle of the congregation." You see? Look at verse 38. "And those that were numbered of the sons of Gershon throughout their families and by the house of their fathers, from 30 years old and upward, even unto 50 years old. Everyone that entereth into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation." So from 30 to 50 years old, you're doing a service of the tabernacle. Right now, we would be, you know, actually going out teaching and doing the things, but you're not an elder. Even people, I mean, if they're not in the truth, and you like 30 something years old, you say, "I'm an elder." It's funny. The they have cats that's like, you know, in their 30s, and they're considered elders. And you're not an elder until you are 51 years old, as we've seen here. 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, everyone that entered into the service for the work in the tabernacle of the congregation. 46, all those that were numbered of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron and the chief of the Israelite numbered after their families and after the house of their fathers, after the house of their fathers, because you come from your father's seed, from 30 years old and upward, even until 50 years old, everyone that came to do the service of the ministry, you see, and the service of the burden in the tabernacle of the congregation was 30 to 50 years old. Even Amashak was shy. How old was he when he started his ministry? 30 years old, 30 to 33, 3 years he was able to do all the things he done. As far as dealing with, just that ministry, going out there dealing with the ministry, he was 30 years old, you see? And that's how we got to look at this, no more, no less. Look at Proverbs 16 and 31. Because if you're saying something that's a lie, lies going to the kingdom. Keep that in mind. Little lies, it's a lie. Or we got to come back to our culture and what we deal, how we deal. Proverbs 16 and 31. The hoary head is a crown of glory from the Most High. That's that gray hair. If it be found in the way of righteousness, just because they have gray hair and they old, don't mean that that's a crown of glory to the Most High. But he's saying the hoary head, meaning as you get, your gray hairs, is a crown of glory. It's a crown of glory, right? If that's a condition, it be found in the way of righteousness. So we got to define righteousness. So that older person that's found in the way of righteousness, how it had to be found? Deuteronomy 6:25. It makes a difference. But you still don't disrespect an elderly person because they don't know this truth. You still got to respect them. Understand this. That's just morally right. Deuteronomy 6:25. It says, and it shall be our righteousness if, that's a condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as he have commanded us. See? So to be righteous, you got to keep the commandments of the Most High. But that don't mean that you, just because, and it tell you pride, is hateful before man and the Most High. Just because you know a few scriptures don't mean that you disrespect, your elders because they don't know. What about when you didn't know? What if somebody just straight disrespected you? You wouldn't like that. And if somebody done live, understand this, if somebody done live on this earth every day in this wicked world that we in right now, and they most of them blessed them to be over 70, which is 70 years, that's all he gave us. And they living longer than that. They in their elderly age. It needs to be respected. It needs to be respected. It's real, because without the ability to be able to bring forth what it is that they have lived through, if you do an interview with them, you'll see that it's a lot of things, a lot of you wasn't even living. You don't know what's happening in the 60s, 50s, 40s. What happened on this day? You can't even say nothing. All you can do is read about it, or somebody can tell you about it. Like somebody can tell you about everything that you lived in your life that day that you experienced whatever you experienced. Every day is an experience. Understand this. Why you have to respect that. I do. That's why Ecclesiasticus 3:24, because and then you can find in the spirit the wrong spirit and think you on point. I've been there where I've seen young brothers disrespect, elderly men. I had to check them because they didn't know the truth. They didn't know what we know. Most I ain't called them. And you don't do no calling, do you? We don't do no calling. Most High got to call them. He the one got to wake them up. Bam, you woke up. Now you got to start learning. What difference do it make? How many men I seen come in the troop and they ain't in there no more? Same ones telling somebody off. They still striving, doing whatever they doing. They can come in that last hour. Y'all realize that? I've been here 30-something years. What difference do it make? Somebody been in 40-something years. What difference do it make? They don't endure to the end. They can come in that last hour, man. Keep that in mind. Just because they're not hearing whatever it is that you're trying to bring out now, they can come in that last hour. That's why I tell you Ecclesiastes 3:24. Ecclesiastes 3:24 says, for many are deceived by their own vain or worthless opinion. And an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. See that? Many are deceived by their own worthless opinion, worthless thinking, man. And you can't allow nobody to have you think wrong, so you will speak wrong, and then let you know you acting wrong. You acting out. And you in sin. You see? For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, right? The way they think. Or the way you following somebody that's thinking wrong, speaking wrong, and acting wrong. And a lot of times you don't know the action that's wrong. You just hear whatever you hear, and you can just only go by what you see on social media. That's it. So many are deceived by their own vain opinion, worthless thoughts, man. Everything comes from their thoughts. And an evil suspicion, that's the devil. That evil suspicion, that's the devil. Have overthrown their judgment, make you make the wrong judgment in the way you conduct yourself. Do Satan. He make you make the wrong decision. The judgment that you make is off. And then you got to pay for it now or later, but we're going to pay regardless. One way or another, you're going to pay. Anybody get away with nothing, none of us. Proverbs 3:5. While we have to learn, it's just respect, that's all. Respect. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Most High. In the name of the Lord, Savior. With all thine heart, with all your mind, the way you think. And lean not unto thine own understanding. That's why we have the Bible to be our guideline. Everything is predicated from what the Bible says. Now, if you don't know and you're just dealing with your feelings, then most I don't care about that. You got no respect to persons, man. That's why it says, in all thy ways, in all your ways, acknowledge him. That's why you have to acknowledge him. Whatever it is that is going on in your life, you got to acknowledge the Most High. You got to put him in it. He has to be put in it, or he's gonna be taken out. But you want him to do this and do that and do this and do that, And as you've lived a long time, you should have some type of anointing upon you, some way that he has come through for you to be able to say, the Most High has done this, Most High has done that. That's why I say you got to acknowledge him in all your ways. Everything we do, acknowledge the Most High, and he shall direct thy path. But think about it. If you not acknowledging what it is that you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to conduct yourself, and you're not acknowledging the Most High, how is he directing everybody's path when they don't even have nothing to say about him? Think about that. You have nothing to say about him, but yet still you praying to him, and I hope you're not saying amen at the end of your prayer by now. I hope y'all not saying that. That's Zeus last name. I did a short on that. Plus we've been bringing it out, street teaching on the classes, that's Zeus last name, Amen. So they got you calling on them, regardless how you look at it. You got to look at this. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart. You see, you got Lord there. That's Baal. That's what that means. I guess I have to keep putting it in your face to get you to see it, because some kind of way is coming out that people still want to deal with it and think that is they downplaying the fact that it's coming out. Downplay if you want. See that BAAL? See what it says? BAAL. It means what? LORD. And they put it in the Bible to have you calling on LORD, and you wear it out. That's why, you got to look at this, because as an elder and in our nation, I ask for direction, and anybody know me, I talk about the Most High. First and foremost, I talk about that order, Most High, or Mashiach Yahushai, and then Israel, straight up. Or y'all should be telling me, hey, how you more important than him? A lot of times people think they're more important than him. He ain't nobody more important than him. That's why I say trust in the Most High, about Shama Mashiach Yahushai, and with all thine heart, with all your mind, man, and lean not into thine own understanding, or you're gonna fall into what we just read in Ecclesiastes 3:24. Many being deceived by their own vain opinion. You see, worthless opinion. And an evil suspicion to overthrow their judgment. The devil come in and make you make the wrong judgment. Then afterward, you think about, oh, how many times you did that, and then you say, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did this, And a lot of you won't even apologize. You just go through whatever you go through, and it's like you got to accept how you want somebody to think about you, me. What about the Most High? It said, in all thy ways acknowledge him. People ain't acknowledge him. A lot of people just about talking about whatever it is that's benefiting them. Pride. He said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That's why a lot of people are not being directed by him. But they think they are, but they directed by that evil suspicion that overthrown their judgment. And that evil suspicion is who? The devil. But you think it's the Most High. Okay. You want to say that. It say, be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High. That's all about you. You, me, man. We know in part and prophesy in part. When the Mashiach come back, he gonna make everything that we know whole. You see? And that's real as can be. But you ain't supposed to be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Most High, man. Be afraid, be scared of the Most High, and depart from evil. If you depart from evil, what you get? Let's find out. See if I can find that in the scriptures. Departing from evil. See what we get if we depart from evil. Let's look at Job, the 28th chapter, 28th verse. Now let me explain this before I go there. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Knowledge is the gathering of information. Wisdom is the proper application of how you apply that information that you gathered to have knowledge. So knowledge is a gathering of the information. Wisdom is the proper application of how you apply that information, which is that knowledge. And let's see what understanding is. One particular meaning of understanding. In Job 28:28. And unto man, Job 28:28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Most High. You keep hearing that, right? Fear means to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High. You highly respect him. The fear of the Most High, that is wisdom, you see? And to depart from evil is understanding. You see that? To depart from evil is understanding. So when you have people that are following the way of their own mind, in their own vain opinion, worthless thinking, then they're not departing from evil, because the evil comes in when the devil comes in. That evil suspicion is when the devil is able to come into their minds to have them make the wrong judgment. But if you follow what he's saying here, in all thy ways acknowledge him, Acknowledge the Most High, and He shall direct thy path. Then the devil can't come in to direct your path in a wrong way. You'll have the Most High and the Mashiach outside and the holy angels there to protect you and to guide you in the way you should go. And as you get older, as an elder, like we dealing with the elders, you learn this more and more and more because you got more days that you done lived and seen this happen in your life. At least for me, I'll give a miracle, you give a miracle. I'll show you how the Most High is involved in this, that, and the third, whatever. Then you'll see that, He's real, man. This is real. And as you get older, as an elder, you have more testimonies, man, because you don't live long. And you got to give the glory and honor and praise to the Most High, man. That's why I say, be not wise in thine own eyes. Don't think you all that. That's pride. Fear the Most High, But it don't take away from your confidence of what you do know and knowing the scriptures and knowing what your spiritual understanding with the Most High and your understanding, your development and anointing with the Most High. Don't take away from that, because a lot of time when you bring that, like, y'all might think I'm bragging because I'm telling you, I'm talking about the Most High and what He's done. I exalt the Most High. All praise to the Most High. I can't say it. Y'all talking about all praises to who? To Zeus, to Amen, huh? That's His name, Zeus, Amen. All praises to who? Baal, which is Lord, that they put in this Bible that you saying over and over again. Don't realize that you calling on Baal. And if you do hear it and you still doing it, then what you think gonna happen whenever the judgment come? World War III knocking on the door, man. That's why, y'all gotta look at this, man. You're not dismiss it from your membrane. Because Revelation 12 and 12. Revelation 12 and 12. This is where we at. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Talking about right here on this earth, man. We dwelling in the heavens. The white man's heaven, Edomite's heaven. Say, woe, destruction to the inhabitants of the earth. People that live in the earth and of the sea, those out in the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So he coming out with much wrath because he know he have a short time. But what you gonna do when he come for you? You can't allow him. You gotta know how to rebuke the devil. You gotta know exactly how to get rid of any wiles of the devil that come your way. Because he's on the earth. And as you lived on the earth a long time, you done dealt with this a long time. More so than someone that's lived a short time. You understand? That's why elders know a lot. They've experienced a lot. That's mainly what I'm trying to show you. It's a lot of experience in living every day. Every day, as long as you live, there was an experience that you dealt with some kind of way. And if you've been in this wholeheartedly and trying to bring our people to the spiritual understanding of the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua, and we as a nation, you got to deal with a lot, And you can't never give up, no matter what. You got to endure to the end. Straight up. You got to endure. You cannot give up, man. That's why you look at the devil, know he got a short time coming down with much wrath on who? Verse 17. And the dragon, which is the devil, which is serpent, which is Esau, the Edomites, the Satan, the beast, all of them, same, was wrought with the woman, which represent the 12 tribes of Israel. Jeremiah 6 and 2 proves that. I liken the daughter of Zion, who was the 12 tribes of Israel, to a comely, beautiful, and delicate woman, symbolically. So they at war with us, robbed with us, the 12 tribes of Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. That's the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, because they already got the 2/3, They already had them. You see? And shalom, everyone online. Welcome. All praise and glory to you. to the Most High for another day closer to the kingdom. So I say the dragon was wroth with the woman. So the devil, Satan, the beast, Esau, Edomites, serpent, all of them, Satan, all of them, they're the same. I mean, you got to understand, if the Mashiach Yahushua would allow, and the Most High would allow them to put in this Bible exactly, what it is that we know as far as what it's talking about now, he's revealed to us in these last days, we wouldn't have the Bible, point blank. And don't think, you better be trying to get as much as you can learn. Don't think it's coming out, because brothers trying to, I don't think brothers should be dropping, from Revelation's 1st chapter to the 22nd chapter, and Daniel's the 1st chapter to the 12th chapter, and so forth. That's something. If most I want everybody to know why you can't read it, why he say, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. So a dragon, fire-breathing dragon is angry with you women, right? Think about it. If you want everybody to get this, why is it written like that? Well, look at verse 1. I'll just show you. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Come on. If you want everybody to get that, it wouldn't be written like this. Straight up. This ain't for everybody. That's why I say it ain't for everybody to know. They want to know they're supposed to come and ask to be able to be taught, point blank. And you nations, you're going to have to learn, straight up. Thus say the Most High. You ain't got no choice. I would say the dragon was wroth with the woman, so the devil going to be wroth with we the Israelites and went to make war with the remnant. That ain't the 2/3, that's the remnant. That's the 1/3 of the seed, of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High. That right there. Who keep the commandments of the Most High? Baptist church? They go to Baptist church, they learn the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High. Catholic church, Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventist, surely the African Methodist, right? Who? Holy than thou, what they call it, holiness, Church of God in Christ, Church of Christ. Which one? Come on, help me. Which one's keeping the commandments of the Most High? Because this is what it said. That's what we're coming down on. He said, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have a testimony of a Mashiach Yahushua. That's what he's coming down on, man. Straight up. That's why we got to be fortified and justified, glorified, and our walk in this truth, man. Got to be real. It's got to be real. Look at Ecclesiasticus 5, the 5th chapter, in the 2nd verse. It's real serious, y'all. Ecclesiasticus 5 and 2. Say, follow not thine own mind. That's a lot of our problem, man. Say, follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. So we keep hearing the heart. We got to define the heart. I think it's, let's go to Matthew. Is it, or Mark 7:21? Let's see, Mark 7:21. Mark 7:21. Yeah. For from within, out of the heart of men, this defining the heart, proceed evil thoughts. You see? Evil thoughts. That's the way you think. So the heart is the way you think. Out of the heart of men, for from within, he says, out of the heart of men proceed evil thoughts. So what it's saying, your heart is talking about, because the heart just beats blood, every organ of your body. It's talking about, it's hip talk. We got different slangs that we say different things as far as representing certain things that's not normal, that they call ebonics, right? But they slang to us. I mean, we understand each other. That's the same way. We the same people. We the same people. So what? The heart represents the way you think. Straight up. That's why I say go back to Ecclesiastes 5 and 2. It say, follow not thine own mind. It's clear here. And thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. Within that same scripture defining what the heart is. Your mind, the way you think. right? It says, and say not, who shall control me for my works? Who gonna control me for my works? For the Most High will surely revenge thy pride. You see, that's very important. That's really important because when you look at Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 7, Ecclesiastes 10 and 7, pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both does one commit iniquity. That's why, he said you're supposed to be honoring the elderly. Verse 12, it says, for the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High. So what's opposite of being prideful? Thinking you all that? Being humble. And we ain't nothing else we ought to be, man. Are we? I don't see nobody saying what number they are, 144,000. I don't see nobody telling what gate they're going through of the 12 gates. I don't see what anyone's saying concerning them being of the 1/3, that remnant we just read about, that the devil coming down upon, that keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Mashiach Yahushua. Which one are you? What number are you? He said, we more numerous than the sand of the sea. Think about it. Hopefully we just be one of those that make it, man. Beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart, which is your mind, the way you think, is turned away from his maker. So if you ain't talking about the Most High, he ain't in your conversation, you done turn your mind away from him. This is what it's all about. Because you turn your mind away from him, man, you ain't got nothing coming. Nothing. Nothing coming but destruction. As he said, whoa. That's why we got to look at what these scriptures are saying. That's why Jeremiah 17 and 9. Jeremiah 17 and 9. Jeremiah 17 and 9. The heart, which is the way you think, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see? That's the way you think. He says, desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see? Most High know it. He said, the heart is desperately wicked. See? That's the way you think. If you're not thinking right. That's why, look at Ecclesiastes 5th chapter. It will have verse 4. Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. Say not, I have sinned. I have broken the laws of the Most High, commandments of the Most High, and what harm has happened unto me? Hey, Most High long suffering. He said, I sinned, and Most High did nothing. What harm has happened to me? Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Most High is long suffering. Hear that? The Most High is long suffering, but he suffered for a long time. He will in no wise let thee go. Hear that? You hear what he said? He said, hey, say not, I have sinned. And the older you get, the more sins you can do. You understand? The more you've been on this earth, every day, if you ain't trying to really look at what's right, what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High, the more sins you can have, piled up and piled up. Then the Most High just deal with you. That's why he's saying, what did he say? Say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened to me? Like a lot of people, they do all kind of wicked stuff, man, when the book is closed, right? You say, well, ain't nothing happened to me. But the Most High is long suffering. He suffered a long time. What would he say? He will in no wise let thee go. You know? No way he gonna let you go, man. Meaning you're gonna get it. or we gonna get it one way or another. Ain't nobody getting away with nothing. See, look, Numbers 14:18. The Most High is long suffering, as he said. I mean, he suffered a long time, right? And of great mercy. What is mercy? Not getting something we do deserve to get. Forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty. You hear that? By no means clearing the guilty, those that have sinned against him, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation, man. That's why we didn't follow the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, man. He said, he didn't think he care. I'm waiting to see how many people gonna say they know they got their position. They know they have their position in the kingdom. I ain't hearing that. You see, I don't hear that. But the action shows that, you know, you could think that you have an opportunity to be there. Selected, just a moment. To be dealing with the means of being in the kingdom when, hey man, you said the righteous scarcely gonna be saved. The righteous scarcely gonna be saved. So we have to think about these things and really look at trying our best to do the best we can, because what he say, the Most High is long suffering and of great mercy, meaning not getting something that we do deserve to get. Forgiving iniquity, he's forgiving, and transgression, us breaking the laws of the Most High, and by no means clearing the guilty. He said, by no means clearing the guilty. Visit iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. See? And Most High said, well, right now we're looking at, 70 years is a lifespan that he give us. Anything other than that or past that is a blessing. For real, for real. But see, we didn't want to follow what he said do. So a lot of you think y'all be partial with the law, I'll say. Look what he told us. He told Moses, look at this, verse 27. He said, how long shall I bear with this evil congregation? With elders and our younger men and women and our children. How long shall I bear with this evil congregation? Talking to us when we're in the wilderness. Then came out of Egyptian captivity, which murmur against me. Hear that? People murmur against them. I'm telling you, Baal means Lord. And you murmuring against me bringing it out, you murmuring against the Most High. The elite know this. They know they put it in there. You murmuring against the Most High. I ain't got to talk about him. I'm talking about him enough. You ain't never talk about the Most High enough. His name is jealous. We can never talk about him enough. He said, hey, that's what we was doing, murmuring against him. They was talking to who? Moses and Aaron. But they was murmuring against the Most High. I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel, which they murmur against me. See, right now, people murmuring against him. Even talking about him. It's all about Kwam Yasharala. We ain't rising nowhere. I want y'all to comment. Show me how you got a foolproof plan to take us out of this captivity. If it ain't the Most High that got to do it. My shadow don't even know. Angels don't know. Nobody know but the Most High. power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. He's the power of Israel. He the only one know. This is what it say. So we murmured against him. Oh, you ain't got nothing to say about him. He said, hey, his neighbor's jealous. You more important than him. That's why he said this to us. He said, saying to them, as truly as I live and the Most High live, said the Most High, as ye have spoken in mine ears, so will I do to you. He said, your carcasses, that's our dead bodies, shall fall in this wilderness, and all that were numbered of you according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward. Hear that? From 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. He said, doubtless ye shall not come into the land. We're trying to get back into our land right now. Think that important? He said, doubtless ye shall not come into the land concerning which I swear to make you dwell therein, save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. But your little ones, the children that we had in the 40 years we was going around in the wilderness, which he said should be your prey, we were sacrificing our children to dang on idols and stuff, for them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised. But as for you, 600,000 men, army, well, I got to subtract 599,998 men, great army that came out of Egyptian captivity, and the women. But he said, but as for you, those I just gave you the numbers, your carcasses, they shall fall in this wilderness, and your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredoms until your carcass is wasted in the wilderness. He said, I'm going to kill every last one of you for us, for the 40 years that we wandered in this wilderness, because we didn't want to follow him. But yet and still now, y'all going to downplay the fact that we have offended him and ain't even talking about him enough. Y'all better understand. He said, after the number of the days in which he searched the land, even 40 days, each day for a year, shall ye bear your iniquities, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. That's the Most High. That's the Most High telling you. I, the Most High, have said, I will surely do it unto all this evil congregation that are gathered together against me in this wilderness. They shall be consumed, and there they shall die. There it is. That's why I say we got to come out of our captivity. How we going to come out of our captivity, and we're not even talking about who's going to bring us out of the captivity? Look, come on, man. I gotta bring it, because some of you might not know. Some of you might not even care. Somebody do. Hope you do. Matthew 24:36. Understand this. But that day, we're going to be lifted up out of this wicked world, from this captivity that we in, of that day and hour. Knoweth no man. Hear that? Knoweth nobody. No man know. Don't let nobody tell you it's going to be this day, that day, whatever. They done that before. How many people lost their mind? 2000, going to be the end of the world. They lost their mind. They left the truth. Some of you want to open up the Bible. They believe what man said. And I read the scripture all the time to them. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. So what man going to tell you what day it is? I read this all the time too. As a matter of fact, I had the congregation count from the time that we were in. If it was the second month, I made them count what? 10 months before 2000 came in. To the day, to the hour. I didn't go to a minute. I just went to the hour. Come on. And then I will read the scripture. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. You see that? Don't be fooled, y'all. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Only the Most High know. So if he got to, that's why I say, y'all got to look at, Like I say, every day is a new day, and it's a day closer to the kingdom. And the Most High Spirit is not stopped. It is not stopped. It's still bringing things to the table that we got to eat in these last days so that we can become more spiritual. Other than that, you keep doing the same thing if you want to. And you hearing it, like some haven't heard it, but you hearing it and you keep doing the same thing, that's like presumptuous sin, man. But understand, Ecclesiasticus, who I'm talking about, man. Ecclesiasticus 23 and 19. It says, such a man only fear the eyes of men. That's why a lot of men are men pleasers. They only fear the eyes of men. And knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You hear that? The eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Doing what? Beholding all the ways of men and women too. But his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. We can't even look at the sun. Even with sunglasses, sometimes you can't even look at the sun for a period of time, man. Think about it. And his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts, considering the things you do when the book is closed. When the book is open, everybody holding it out. But when the book is closed, now you got to apply what it is that this Bible is talking about. You got to inquire. If you don't know, you got to inquire. You can't just be running around with your own vain opinion, allow the devil to have you making a wrong judgment. And then it's sad because we have elders, you know, that are to their best ability trying to follow the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, and still you got people in their own feelings. Can't back it up, no way, shape, or form. But then coming against the elder. That's why sometimes you don't even want people to even be around you because they had a wrong understanding. So now that we know that the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, what does he do? Amos 3 and 6. Book of Amos 3 and 7. Amos 3 and 7. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Most High power will do nothing. You see how I replace LORD and GOD with the Most High power? Or I could have said, surely the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's his name forever, memorial to all generations. Or I could say the Most High Yahweh. It's surely Yahweh, you know, will do nothing. But I'm not saying these words, LORD and GOD. Why? Because LORD, I just showed you, represents BAAL. GOD, you still calling on the so-called white man. He called himself GOD. He the one that created that word, Germanic word that came up out in the 6th century AD. Come on, man. It's a new word. They published the Bible, they put it in there, so you calling on them. Still calling on them. Are you calling on, the deity, BAAL? Can't say it enough. I'm showing it to you. Look at any Bible dictionary. Matter of fact, probably any dictionary. What word comes before BAA? Do you think a word that comes for BAA what? Generally, there's no word that comes before BA and L. That's why I'm not saying it. And haven't been saying it for years. And you can do the same thing. You don't have to offend the Most High by allowing them to have your mind control. It's mind control. Say it's not. You hearing it, you see it, you study it, look it up. And we're doing a series. I think Brother Sadiq is doing a great series on these words. This way, that way, every way you can think of. And Esau even telling you that. they created these things, and you got you saying it, so you won't come back to the Most High and still offending him. It's very important. Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret that his eyes see, that's 10,000 times brighter than the sun, to who? But revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So everybody's not a servant. Everybody's not a prophet. But he revealed his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Now, who is that? Who are the servants? Isaiah 44:1. Isaiah 44:1 defines who the servants are. Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, see, and Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, whom I have chosen. Jump to verse 21. Clear as day. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. Can't get no clearer than that. Thou art my servant. We the Israelites are the Most High's servant. So we reveal his secrets that he gathers from his eyes being 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and gathering in to his eyes the secret things that people have done, and he revealed it to his servants, the prophets, the Israelites. Point blank. John 15:15. That's why a lot of times, and it's through many different ways, it's not necessarily he can have somebody come up and tell you something. Like I had my son and my friend tell me at one time in my life to go get my cholesterol checked. They both told me this. And I went, got it checked, and it wasn't too cool. And so I thanked them for it because I didn't know. I didn't go to no doctors. I thanked them for it. And they was like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. They didn't remember. They had told me that. And that's how this worked. Most I made a donkey talk. Didn't he? Did he make a donkey speak? Why y'all smiting me? When the man was hitting him. But the donkey seen, that's why the animal can see things that we can't see. The donkey see the spirit with the sword in his hand, the angel in his hand, the sword in his hand, that angel, ready to tear his butt up, but he didn't go. He hit his leg against the wall so he wouldn't go forward. Come on. That's real. That's why we have to really look at these scriptures and the things that we see here with understanding and appreciate the Most High, y'all. Appreciate the fact that he called us. This is the highest calling you could be called into, and knowing and learning this truth, man, and living and applying in your life, man. Living, applying in your life, man. It's so powerful. You just don't, look at anything. Just the most powerful thing in the world, the truth. You understand this? And then women. That's why we have to be aware, because the truth is number one, and then women. Not men, women. So when they had a bet, it was like, who's the powerful? It's the king, wine. And the third brother said the truth and women. You know what they spent the most time talking about? Women. Straight up. So let's look at John 15:15. And it's very important because, the woman was dealing with the good and evil. The first one. First one dealing with it. And Satan knew we got a short time coming out of the most wrath, so They on another level. St. John 15:15, brothers. It says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his power doeth. It means also master. They put both of them in there, especially New Testament. BAAL means LORD and MASTER, and also HUSBAND in both. And POSSER, all this, man. They have us calling on them, man. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his master or his power does. But I have called you friends. See? So we say, I ain't gonna call you no servants no more. I'm gonna call you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, him Mashiach being the word of the Most High, I have made known unto you. See? You said, ye have not chosen me. That's why you gotta understand. The Most High do the calling. He said, Elah Mashiach do the choosing. He said, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. Not everybody. But he chose some of us, and he said, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father, that's in my name, he may give it you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. Over and over again, man. He tells us that. So the longer you live, man, the more you experience the things that's written in this Bible once you know it. It says, if the world hates you, if the world hate us, you know that it hated me before it hated you. And that's real talk. That's why I just put out a video with a Edomite man, the so-called white man, was saying that the white man killed the Most High. He said it. I said, so you saying that the so-called white man killed the Most High? He said, yes. And a lot of you have to say that. If you think Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High, in the Romans, the so-called white man killed Mashiach Yahushua, didn't he? He rose on the third day and walked there for 40 days and ascended to the right hand side of the Most High, but that's real talk. And that's real. If you think that way. That's why he said. Why ain't say you ask anything in my name? You ask for me. All you do is just ask me. You ain't got to ask the Father nothing, because I am the Father. Think about that. That's so, I mean, that's why I say, man, they got everybody twisted through their multitude of sorceries on this earth, man, multitude of witchcrafts. Because look, he said, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you, because they put him to death. Straight up. 33 years old. Put him to death. Ooh. Enough of this guy. Enough of this cat. We got to get rid of him. We'll get rid of him. We're going to lose our power. That's why I said, if you are the world will love its own. That's why people want to build a world. They're looking for exaltation that comes with the world. If you was of the world would love you. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. See, telling them that we fell into the same suit. What's the difference? Ain't no difference. We go after them. Who loves us as Israelites? Who really love us? And every last one of you nations should be listening to learn what it is that we bringing forth. That's what the Most High say you're supposed to be doing. Straight up. Let me show you that. I don't like to say things that can't prove it. Jeremiah 12, we're going to read 14 to 17. Jeremiah 12, 14 to 17. Thus said the Most High. So the Most High is saying this against all my evil neighbors. You know that? And all you nations, man, y'all not dealing with being righteous. You either righteous or you evil. And all you that's contrary to the way you should be according to the way Most High's law, statute, commandment, you are evil too. You're Israelite, you, no matter who it is. Say, all my evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people in Israel to inherit. That's the land of Israel. That inheritance that the Most High gave all 12 tribes. And the people over there, the Jewish people over there in our land now, but everybody been in our land. You know, Babylonians, you know, was in Egyptian captivity in Egypt. See what I'm saying? And when we came out, we got our land, right? We just read about it. Little children went into the land that we had within that 40-year period. But then we went into the Syrian captivity. They came in our land, took over our land, and took control in our land, the Most High's land, his inheritance that he gave to the children of Israel. Babylonians came in there, took our land. Persian Medes had our land, control of our land. The Greeks, the Romans, come on. And all the rest of the Edomites that came into power, and all the Israelites that was evil, ruling the Byzantine Empire, didn't care nothing about no Israelites. They didn't like us, even though they were Israelites. Then the Renaissance period, the so-called white man coming into power from 1453 on to 1492 to now. What do you say? Thus say the Most High power against all mine evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people in Israel to inherit. That's our land. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. Here they're going to pluck us away from them. He said, and it shall come to pass, future. After that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them. That's why the Most High said in Isaiah 14:1, the Most High going to have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers, you other nations, are going to be joined with us. You're going to cleave to us. And you're going to be servants and handmaids for the Most High I spoken it. He said, and I will bring them again, every man to his heritage. That's every man to his land, and every man to his land that the Most High gave the 12 tribes of Israel: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. Listen at this closely. Verse 16. And it shall come to pass, if, that's a condition, they will diligently learn the ways of my people. Do you think this is going out void? You're supposed to be learning the ways that we're putting out and bringing forth this truth, you other nations. If you would diligently learn the ways of my people. Most I gave us moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and sacrificial laws. We're not dealing with the sacrificial laws because my shall was the ultimate lamb of the Most High. But you're supposed to learn the ways of my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, to swear by my name, swear by the Most High's name, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's his name forever and memorial to all generations, the Most High. The Most High liveth. What it say? As they taught my people to swear by B-A-A-L. How you cause we the children of Israel to swear by B-A-A-L? By making it mean L-O-R-D and putting it in this Bible. That's how you made the Most High's people, we the 12 tribes of Israel, swear by B-A-A-L, which is L-O-R-D. What's the difference? I mean, I have different names. I'm still the same person, regardless. You call me this, you call me that. Somebody say, okay, certain things I'm dealing with, I'm a certain name. That's still me. B-A-A-L means L-O-R-D. L-O-R-D means B-A-A-L. You know what it says? You cause my people to swear by B-A-A-L, by putting it in the scriptures, L-O-R-D. What's the difference? If B-A-A-L means L-O-R-D, and you saying L-O-R-D, you still call it on B-A-A-L, no matter how you look at it. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. You hear that? When you diligently learn the ways of we, the 12 tribes of Israel, what the Most High is teaching us in these last days. We that's teaching this Bible. You supposed to learn the same thing that we're bringing out. I'll tell you what. You can learn it now. You'll be made to learn. It don't make no difference. Then shall they be built in the midst of my people. So if you don't learn the ways of the Most High people, which we're bringing forth in these last days, just like Noah was said, it's going to rain. Nobody believed him until it rained. And the Most High killed everybody but Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth and their wives. 8 people. That's where we come from. That's why y'all think he needs you. He don't need us, man. If he made everybody you can see on this earth, billions of people, through 3 men and 3 women, you better ask somebody. We need him. But if they will not obey, you don't want to follow the ways that the Most High have taken the time, like he said, let the multitude perish then in 2 Ezra 9:22. And let my grape and my plant be careful. With great labor have I made it perfect. He's laboring to make some of us perfect. And we're bringing forth these words in the last days. And you don't want to obey him? Don't wait till you bring a tornado, a hurricane, earthquake, fires in abundance. It's written, it's going to happen. Plagues. Don't wait till then. It's too late then. If they would not obey, you don't want to obey? What? Verse 16, and if it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, right? To swear by my name, the Most High liveth, right? Verse 17, but if you don't want to obey, if they will not obey, learning the ways of this truth that's coming out all over the earth, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation. Who said it? Said the Most High. That's very important. That's very important. Look, look at I want you to read with me Ecclesiastes 23, 23rd chapter, verse 27 and 28. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Most High. There's nothing better than to be afraid, to be scared of the Most High, so you will respect him. Nothing better than the fear of the Most High, and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Most High. You know? Nothing sweeter than to take heed to the commandments of the Most High. As you get older and you doing this, it becomes just like riding a bicycle. You know, you don't have to really, learn how to ride again. You got to go over these laws. You review them, what it is that pleases him. And you just do it. Look what it said. It is great glory to follow the Most High, and to be received of him is long life. But how you get this long life? Because we talk about the elders and what it says. Proverbs 3:1. Proverbs 3:1. These are the things that must be brought out. My son, forget not my law. See? Say, my son, forget not my law. But let thine heart, which is your mind, we define the heart as the mind, the way you think, keep my commandments. You keep the commandments, he said. And when you keep the commandments, you keep the law, he says, for length of days. For length of days, to live a long time. And long life, see? That's why I said, what it said in Ecclesiastes 23:28. It says, it is great glory to follow the Most High. It is great glory to follow the Most High. And to be received of him is long life. You see? To be received of the Most High is long life. That's why it tells us in Proverbs 3:1, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart, your mind, keep my commandments. Right? If you keep the commandments, you keep the laws, it says for length of days. live a long time, and long life and peace shall they add to thee. You see, that's a special peace, though. You see, that special peace that Mashiach Shai told us he's going to give us in John 14, and let's go there. John the 14th chapter and verse 27. It's a special peace, y'all. He said, peace I leave with you. He said, my peace. This is a special peace, y'all. My peace I give unto you. Everybody can't have this peace. Everybody don't get this peace. They don't do the things that's desirable to the Most High and the Mashiach side to receive it. They say, peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Listen how different it is. Not as the world gives it, so the world can't give this peace he's talking about here. Give I unto you, to let not your heart, which is your mind, let not your heart, which is your mind, be troubled. He said, neither let it be afraid. See? That's a special peace, man. And when you have that peace, no matter what happens, you can always go back to that peace. And sometimes it'll bother people because they don't have it. And they don't understand it, but they want you to be miserable with them. You heard that old saying, misery loves company? Huh. The older you get, the more you can see it as an elder. You see that person miserable. They was miserable. They still miserable. But it's great to have that peace, man. That's a special peace, man. Let's look at 1 Timothy 5 and 1. 1 Timothy 5 and 1. Pray that the Most High can allow you to have that peace, sir. It's a very special peace. And don't let nobody take it from you either. 1 Timothy 5 and 1. It says, rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. And treat him as a father. So rebuke not an elder. And shalom to everyone coming online. Welcome. So rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. And the younger men as brethren. You see? The elder women as mothers. You know? And treat the elder man like a father and the elder women like mothers. Because we used to, you heard the saying, village raises a child. We used to be like that, man. We used to, the people, the elderly men, the elderly women looked out for the younger, brothers and sisters. The elderly woman as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity, man. It's very important. Look at Isaiah 45. It's very important because when you don't follow what the Most High would have you do, then look at Isaiah 45 and 7, what the Most High says. He said, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace. That special peace of Mashiach Shai said will come from the Most High. I make peace and create evil. He said, I, the Most High, do all these things, you see? So the Most High make peace and he create evil when you have an evil intent, evil thoughts, evil talking, speaking, and evil actions. You draw evil to you. The Most High is not evil. He's all righteous. But he created evil. Why? He said, what did he tell us in the beginning? Not to eat of what? He said, you can eat of the tree of what? Life. We live forever. We was immortal initially. He said, don't eat of what? The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So what no evil until we brought it on this earth because we did contrary to what the Most High told us to do in keeping his laws, statute, commandments. No different than it is then now. Because who we can go to? Mashiach would say, who we go to then? The tree of life, that's who we represented. The tree of life. That's why he say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man coming to the Father but by me. It's been that way. He the way that shows how to follow the truth, which is, we know class what? Psalms 119, 142. That righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. Right? So he the way shows how to follow the truth, which is the commandments and the laws of the Most High, that's going to lead to everlasting life. And he said, no man coming to the Father but by me. And all they had to open up was what? The law and the prophets. That's it. That's all they had to go by. Point blank. So it's very important that you see this, because you draw evil to you. Most High's not evil. He got Shaitan waiting for you to do whatever you're going to do. Hey, go over there and deal with him. Who? And Satan is imps always say, hey, you hear what they said? Hear what they thought? Hear what they did? See what they did? Just go over there and deal with them. Let me go over there and deal with them. Put forth thine hand, like he told the Most High with Job. Put forth thine hand, let me go deal with them. Most High said, go ahead, because you deserve it. Or we deserve it. When we do things that's evil or that's wrong against the Most High, that's why he created evil. But he said, don't deal with evil. Remember that? You don't need to deal with evil. He said, man, we was living forever, never, never, never. We didn't need to be dealing with nothing that pertained to evil. That's why I say, when you think about us, man, we can't really look wholeheartedly like we are that. When the Most High said, all you need is me and the tree of life. That's all you need. And we chose death. He said, the day that you eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you're going to die. And we chose death. And we chose death every time. He said, if you do what I say do, you follow my laws, statutes, commandments, I'm going to set you above all nations of the earth. We knew this. And our ancestors knew this. And we know it now. But yet still, you're going to try and come up with an excuse and being rebellious, as we always have been, to not change. That's what Mashiach say, told Nicodemus in John the 3rd chapter, you got to change, man. He said, you got to be born again. We all got to be born again. Look how we've been programmed. Come on, who programmed you? Who raised you to know the knowledge you know? Where's your elders? Who taught you this? And they gave you the best they can give you. The spirit ain't never stopped. That's why you got to change, man. You want to get up out of here, be part of, you see what he just said? He said all the carcasses of 599, 998 men that came out of Egyptian captivity, and all the women. He said their carcasses is going to be in that wilderness for 40 years, man, until every last one of them died. Then I'm going to let you go into the promised land. The children that we had, that we're going to sacrifice to some dang on idols, so the Canaanites, man. Things that we learned from the Hamites and so forth. Got in the wilderness, still want to deal with it. Complaining and murmuring and stuff. Like a lot of y'all probably murmuring now. Y'all don't want to change, man. But you ain't commenting about how you can justify what you're dealing with in offending the Most High. We go before the Most High and deal with it. And let the chips fall where they might fall. That's how sincere I am about it. And that's what happens when you get older and older and older, and you live seeing the same thing happen over and over and over again. You see that we just not being able to accomplish the things that we should accomplish. That's why we got to do what he say do, or he gonna bring that evil on us, like he always have, man. I don't know. It's not hard for me. I don't know. I know. It's just I don't think some of y'all fear the Most High. No, or y'all don't know him. Y'all don't know him. But you gonna know him. I tell you that. Every last one of us. 1 Timothy 5 and 17. 1 Timothy 5:17. Let the elders that rule well, only way you rule well, you keep the commandments of the Most High. The elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor. It says, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine, those that are laboring in this truth, man. say are worthy of double honor. But it comes to be that, you know, um, brothers come and start learning the truth, and they start thinking that, we all on the same page, and we're not. We're not the same. Everybody's not the same. I had to humble myself. I learned from brothers that was like 15, 20 years younger than me. They told me what I had to do. We was the army of the Most High. Shoot, that's just the way it is. I mean, but an elder, like I said, is 51 years old and older. The ministry is 30 years old to 50 years old. We went through that earlier in Numbers, the 4th chapter. This is our culture, you see. So it says, 1 Timothy 5:17, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine, that give their life to bringing forth the word and doctrine of the Most High in these last days. Come on. And enduring through everything. It says, verse 19, it says, against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses. This is different than Matthew 18 and 15. I'm going to go there because a lot of you try and bring Matthew 18:15 before the elders. You can't do that. It says, against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses. You see that? That's very important. So look at Matthew 18:15. You got to have 2 or 3 people with you. It says, Matthew 18:15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. You see, those that are not elder. But if he will not hear thee, if he hear you, you gain your brother, he said. But if he don't want to hear you, he's saying, get on out of my face, I want to hear that. He said, then take with thee 1 or 2 more. He said 1 or 2 more. Whereas an elder, you got to have 2 or 3. It says 1 or 2 more. You see the difference? That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. See? And if he shall neglect to hear them, you took the 1 or 2 witnesses with you, and he neglect to hear them, he said, tell it unto the church. That's when you can broadcast it to everyone. Because we the church, the children of Israel. But if he neglect to hear the church, no, it says, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican. You want to hear everybody telling you off, you wrong, let him be as a heathen man or a publican, he said, man. Let him be really pretty much. Let him be just away from everybody. You see, it's very important. And it's very it also, this is another case scenario too, in Matthew 5:23. This is for those, he got different scenarios. Like I say, the Bible answering everything is about the way we're supposed to think and speak and act. It says in Matthew 5:23, it says, therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, you're going to come in to pray, and there remembereth that thy brother hath ought against thee, you get ready to pray. You remember, oh, the brother got a problem with me. Leave there thy gift before the altar, stop praying and go thy way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. You see? Then you come and pray to the Most High. That's why these are things that are basics that we have to really look at, trying to do the best we can to satisfy the Most High, because we all caught up in this this world, why he took a lot of times and told us to love each other, love each other, love each other. Why? Because it's necessary. You know how we are. So that's why he kept telling us to love each other. Um, we as the Israelites. Um, um, look at Ecclesiasticus, the 6th chapter. This whole chapter is pretty good, well, and bringing forth how you deal with friends and so forth. Look at Ecclesiasticus 6:6. It says, "Be in peace with many." Scripture says, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. We the Israelites. It said, "Be in peace with many." That's what it said. "Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000." You hear that? It said, "Be at peace with many." It said, "Nevertheless, have one counselor among 1,000." He said, "If thou wouldst get a friend, you say, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him." You got to prove him. You got to go through certain things. Don't be so quick to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and able will not able in the day of thy trouble. Won't be there for you in the day of your trouble. You be there for them in their trouble, but when you in trouble, when you dealing with whatever you're dealing with, they're not the same. They forget about when you was there with them, for them. They won't be there for the day of your trouble. And there's a friend who being turned to enmity, war, and strife will discover thy reproach, discover your disgrace, the things that will be disgraceful to you. You know, look at verse 16. A faithful friend is the medicine of life. You know, a faithful friend is the medicine of life. And they that fear the Most High shall find him. You fear the Most High, you're afraid, and you talking about the Most High, because you can't fear the Most High, you ain't talking about him point blank. You don't fear the Most High. You ain't scared of the Most High. You ain't afraid of the Most High. Y'all give some lights. I see we got one light that I can see. Um, and I see that, people that are really raunchy, they don't hear this because it cuts them, because they know they're not real. You know, they ain't no real friends. What are real people at? We're supposed to be is real, but are you real? Is you real or you fake? What it say? A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Most High shall find him. This is what it say. Whoso fear the Most High shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. That's why you look at a lot of people that are dealing with, different churches and camps and congregations and so forth. They are as the leader. Leader prideful, they prideful. They following, they're a bunch of robots and robotees. Who really talking about the Most High? Hmm? See, people don't want to hear it. Whoso feared the Most High shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up. You're supposed to be gathering instruction from your youth up. You're supposed to be wanting to know more and more and more and more about what this Bible is talking about. So shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. You see, as you come in this truth, you start learning. You say you're going to gather wisdom until your old age. That's why the older man's supposed to have wisdom. If they live, I mean, a lot of y'all probably don't think about this, but every day is an experience. And if you live, then you're experiencing something, and especially you in the truth, you studying, you dealing with things that are edifying to the body. Always, man. This is what it's all about. Um, Look at Ecclesiastes 8:6. It says, dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. Here it says some, because everybody not gonna get to be old. People be taken out of this world, man. That's why I say dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. You see, that's why he said, even said, rejoice not over thy greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we die all, and after death is the judgment. Say, despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs, things that they bring into the table. For of them thou shalt learn instruction from the elders, and how to serve great men with ease. See, say, miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding. You're going to learn how to depart from evil, which is understanding, and the fear of the Most High, and to keep his commandments, and have faith in him, and cry unto him in humility, and to give answer as need require. Man. Um, Ecclesiasticus 11 and verse 20. Be steadfast in thy covenant. He said, be steadfast in your covenant, that contract, that agreement that the Most High has made with us, and whatever covenant you make with anyone. It says, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work, man. That's why Marshall said, you got to wax old in your work. He told us. Look, Matthew. Let's see. Matthew 24 and 13. He said, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. See, you got to endure. So many people have come and gone. Like I say, this truth is like a revolving door. It's like, you know, when you lose a whole lot of family members, and you had so many that you see gone, just vanished. It's pretty sad, but it's real. That's why I said, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. You know, to grow old in this truth is, man, it's such a blessing. Or to grow older in the truth is a blessing for you youngest people. When he chose in verse 12, he said, but because iniquity, because the wickedness and the evil in this world shall abound, say the love of many shall wax cold. You see? The love of many shall wax cold. That's why you got to tell us over and over and over again, what? Love thy neighbor as thyself. Love each other. Love your brother. Love your sister all the time. Because just like that, bam, Satan comes in. Next thing you know, you in your feelings. That's where you operate in. Lust. Your feelings, your emotions, and all that stuff, man. He ain't dealing with that. Most I ain't dealing with that. He could care less. Better do what he say do. That's what he care about. See. Look at Ecclesiasticus 11. Um, let's look at verse 15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Most High. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I like to say knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what I say all the time, but it's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding here in the scripture, right? Um, of the law are of the Most High. Love and the way of good works are from him. So what's this love that he's talking about? Second John the sixth verse. It's still gonna be the same. The Bible is not gonna contradict itself in what it's saying. It's just a matter of they put these words like Lord and Amen and God in here to have you calling on them or their entity that they believe in. So what is love? Second John 6 defines what love is. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. Do what he say do. This is the commandment that ye have heard from the beginning. Ye shall walk in it. Say, for many deceivers are entered into the world. Many liars are entered into the world who confess not that a Mashiach is come in the flesh. You know what your flesh is? Pinch yourself. For him to come in the flesh, meaning he had a body. This is a deceiver and an anti-Mashiach. You see, straight up. They're against him. And that's why it's saying Ecclesiasticus 11 and 15, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Most High. Love, which is keeping of the commandments, keeping of his laws, and the way of good works are from him. So what are these good works? Exodus, what's the works? Exodus 18 and 20. And the longer you live, the more you live, the more works you have. That's put in the books. You just got to endure until the end. You can't give up. You can't give in and never give up. What's these works? Exodus 18 and 20. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws. The them is the 12 tribes of Israel. We're supposed to be learning ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do, you see. And that work is the keeping of the Most High's commandments. Doing what he say do. No more, no less, man. It's real. Over and over again, he's telling us the same thing. First John 5 and 3. What does it say? Well, it's the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments. And commandments are not grievous at all. So y'all wanna find some other way. He told Moses in Deuteronomy, the first chapter. Let's see who Deuteronomy is talking to first of all. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness, right? So verse 17 says, ye shall not respect persons in judgment. See, you ain't supposed to be respecting nobody, no matter what position they have in judgment. But ye shall hear the small as well as the great. See, ain't no partiality in this. You hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the Most High's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me. Moses said, bring it unto him, and I will hear it. But he set up men. I can tell you like a lot of y'all say, well, why do we have captains and officers and so forth? Here it is right here in verse 15. We ain't dealing with nothing that's not according to the scriptures. So I took the chief of your tribes. These are elders, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, see? And captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes, you see? That's how we were set up. That's what the Most High did. So if somebody got a problem with it, you got to take it up with him. Look at um let's look at something. 2 Samuel 24. Show you how the Most High operate. 2 Samuel 24 and 1. Check this out. 2 Samuel 24 and 1. And again, the anger of the Most High was kindled against Israel. So the Most High angry with us. He's angry with us, right? And he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. So the Most High angry with us, and he moved King David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. So how did the Most High have David move against us as the children of Israel and go number Israel and Judah? That's the northern tribes was called Israel, and the southern tribes called Judah, right? First Chronicles 21 and 1. That's why you get understanding to the precepts. It tells you in First Chronicles 21 and 1. And Satan stood up. See, Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. That's something. Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. So what happened? The Most High was angry with us because we did something wrong. And he provoked David to number Israel. That's what we just read. But he used Satan to go into the mind of King David to have him to number the 12 tribes of Israel. Because he had the northern and the southern tribes. All 12 tribes were joined with, well, actually 13 with Dan, joined with King David. You see? We were all one nation at this time until Solomon did what he did. And the Most High didn't split the kingdom under Solomon's reign, but he waited till, he died and did it under his son's reign, Rehoboam. And Jeroboam was over Israel, the northern tribes. So let's look at First Peter's 5, or the First Peter's the 5th chapter. First Peter's 5th chapter. And let's read verse 1. It says, the elders which are among you, I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach Yahushua. He denied him 3 times before the cock crowed. Told he was going to do that. Peter said, I'm an elder, witness of the sufferings of Mashiach Yahushua. All the suffering that he went through, saying he witnessed it. And also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. He said, feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, watching over the people that you over. Not by constraint, but willingly watching over the flock. Not by filthy lucre, doing it for money's sake, but of a ready mind to lead the people right. Not just for money. If you decide you want to contribute, all praise to the Most High. Neither as being powers over the Most High's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock and examples to the flock, how they should be. Something that I was looking at, I was saying, everybody gonna be just like you. How would they be? If everybody be just like you, as a man or as a woman, how would we be? or like me, for that matter. How would we be? How would they be? You can't be powers over the Most High's heritage, but being examples to the flock of how they should be, you know. But when the chief shepherd of Mashiach Shai come, when he shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away, man. What kind of crown is that going to be? Man, I read about it in Ecclesiastes, because the second chapter, I think it was Ezra, the second chapter. Select. Was it? Yeah. It says, second Ezra, the second chapter, it says, verse 40. It said, take the number of Zion, the 12 tribes of Israel, that remnant, and set up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Most High. You hear that? Fulfilled the law of the Most High. And they clothed in white. What's that white? Let's go to Revelation 20. No, 19. Select it. Revelation 19 and 8. It says, Revelation 19 and 8. They be clothed in white, right? And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen, that's white linen, is the righteousness of saints. See that? The fine linen is the righteousness of saints. So here it is. When you look at 2 Ezra 2 and 40, take that number, O Zion, and set up those that are of thine that are clothed in white. That's the righteousness of saints. The number of thy children whom thou longest for and is fulfilled, right? That remnant. Beseech the power of the Most High, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed in holiness. I also saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praise of Mashiach Yahushua with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, Mashiach Yahushua, and upon every one of their heads he said what? Crowns. See that? He said crowns upon their head. Those crowns are the crowns, as he said, that will they will not fade, right? They're gonna be shiny forever and ever and ever. The best gold of the best gold, he said. In 1 Peter 5 and 4, and when the chief shepherd of Mashiach shall appear, we reading about him right here. Ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. What did he say? In 2 Ezra 2, verse 41, the number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Most High. Beseech the power of the Most High, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. I Ezra saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua with songs. I'm singing songs, y'all. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature. Just talking about a Mashiach Yahushua, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads, he said crowns, and was more exalted. You hear that? To be more exalted, you have to be exalted, which I marveled at greatly. That's when you see Acts 5 was more exalted, right? Acts 5 and 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. The Most High of our fathers, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, raised up a Mashiach whom you slew and hanged on a tree. him have the Most High exalted. See, the Most High didn't exalted him with his right hand to be a prince and a savior for to give repentance to Israel, right? Paul came back and said in Philippians, go to Philippians, the 2nd chapter, came back and said, and verse 9, wherefore the Most High also have highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name, that at the name or Bashama Mashiach Yahushua, every knee shall bow, and of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that a Mashiach Yahushua is the power to the glory of the Most High, the Father. Say, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, when the book is open, everybody's holier than thou. Then when the book is open, he said, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation, which is powers and authority that we're going to get as Israelites with fear and trembling, he said. Now let's go back to the salvation right here in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. He said, verse 43, and in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. This is Mashiach Yahushua, and upon every one of their heads, he said, crowns that would not, the glory of the gold of that crown never gonna fade away. Crowns, right? That's why we read in Peter's, 1 Peter's 5 and 4. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, and we read about him appearing, or Mashiach shall appearing, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. See that? We read about it. And was more exalted. See? Mashiach, we back to 2 Corinthians 2 and 43. Mashiach is going to be more exalted. That's why the Most High has highly exalted him, giving him a name above every name in heaven and in the earth and under the earth, which I marveled at greatly, he said. So I asked the angel and said, sir, what are these? He answered and said to me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing, these mortal bodies that we in, and put on the immortal, meaning you're going to live forever and ever and ever, and have confessed the name of how about some that was said, now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, check it out. What young person is it that crowneth them? Now, this is my shot in the Old Testament and giveth them palms in their hands. Who is this that's giving them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High. Can't get no clearer than that. Where is he at? In the Old Testament. Prophesied for the future. The Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world. So you see how important it is to confess the Mashiach Yahushua in this world? Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for Yahweh Bashama Mashiach Yahushua. Then the angel said to me, go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Most High thy power thou hast seen. You see, the angel speaking for to Ezra the words of the Most High. You see, and who was he? 2 Ezra 4 and 1. And the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer. See, so we've been dealing with, that's how we communicate. Y'all talking about Holy Spirit, Holy Angel. That's Uriel, Holy Angel. Holy Spirit, make his spirits angels, his ministers a flame of fire, Psalms 104 and 4. I mean, these are the things you got to really look at. Going back to 1 Peter's 5 and 5. Say, likewise, ye younger, submit yourself unto the elder. Ye young men supposed to submit themselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another and be clothed with humility. I mean, you cannot be prideful. You got to be clothed with humility. For the Most High resists the proud. The Most High, pride is hateful for the Most High and man. He resists the proud and giveth grace, which is getting something you don't deserve to get, to the humble. You can look at it any way you want to. Oh, the Most High is doing this for this person that's prideful, prideful, prideful. That's Satan. Humble out yourselves. He said, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High. He said, humble yourself under the mighty hand of the Most High, that ye may exalt, that he, Salakia, may exalt you in due time. You know? You got to humble yourself before the Most High, that he, who is the Most High, may exalt you in due time. But I see people want to be somebody in this damn nation that we in. He said, casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. But people looking for somebody else to care for them, to make up for what it is that, they can't do themselves. And don't want to take the time to know more. Much is given, much is required. So you have been given a lot, so you're supposed to be required to bring forth a lot. Be sober, be vigilant. That's what he say. Because your adversary, your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, roaring lion ready to kill something, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. That's what he's doing. He's walking about seeing who he can get. He say, whom resist steadfast in the faith that you have in the Most High. No, and a Mashiach Yahushai, Bashama Mashiach Yahushai, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Going through this, you're going through something, man. That's why, it's beautiful, man, that we have this truth to be able to look at and follow, that we can look for the joy of salvation, which is power, rulership, and authority. Job the 12th chapter, in verse 12. Job 12 and 12. With the ancient is wisdom. You know, with the ancient is wisdom. And in length of days, understanding. See that? With the ancient is wisdom. And in length of days, understanding. When you live a long time, man, you have to be learning something. Even those that maybe not even being the truth. They got something to bring to the table. Because length of day, you live in this life, man. In this world, you have something. And as you live, you'll be able to function more and really, learning more or retaining the things that you have learned. Because a lot of people, that's why they get, have problems with their memory and their mind when they get older, because they're not exercising that mind enough. You be in this truth, you got to look, these precepts, you got all this, go here, go there, go here, go there. You're going to work in your mind, man. You're going to have to be dealing with it, man. It's for real. Look at verse 24. It says, he taketh away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth. The heart came out a lot in this lesson. The mind of the chief of the people of the earth, those that are elders, those in charge, and causes them to wander in a wilderness where there is no way, right? And you look at the